From Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight, Nebraska Task Force 1 safely returns after helping with damage in Puerto Rico from Hurricane Fiona, but they might not be home for long.
Plus, some local high school students had the special honor of sitting in on Nebraska Supreme Court cases. But first tonight,
they have concerns and we have concerns as well about the violence in our city.
The latest on a late-night homicide in Lincoln. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Just after midnight Sunday morning, officers say a man was shot in the alley near 19th and O Streets. Police gave new details in their investigation this afternoon.
The victim is identified as 33-year-old Robert Brannon. Police say he and the suspect, 22-year-old Jarasta Fletcher, were seen together behind a local business in that area. And that's when LPD says surveillance video shows Fletcher firing several shots at Brannon.
The video shows the individuals encountering each other behind the local business in the alley. Mr. Fletcher produced a firearm and began firing at Mr. Brannon. Mr. Brannon went to the ground. Mr. Fletcher stood over him and at close range fired once more at Mr. Brannon. Based on video, we know that several people witnessed this incident, and we believe they have information that will be helpful to investigators.
Now, Fletcher was arrested this morning near 35th and Van Dorn Streets. He faces first-degree murder. Lincoln police ask if you have any information, including photos or videos of the crime, you can call their non-emergency number, 441-6000, or Crime Stoppers. There's a number there, 475-3600, and you can remain anonymous. About 2 hours after that shooting, there was another one near 23rd and Judson Streets.
2 people were sent to the hospital. Police say gunshots were fired into a crowd Sunday morning as people were leaving a large gathering. 2 20-year-old men from Omaha were treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Anyone with information is asked to contact police. We also have new details on a fatal crash from over the weekend. LPD telling us 45-year-old Jeffrey Zeger was hit by a car Saturday afternoon.
That's right. It happened at the intersection of Northwest 19th and O Streets. Police say Zeger was driving a motorcycle when witnesses say a car pulled out in front of him. Zeger died at the hospital from his injuries. LPD says the investigation on this one is ongoing. A class from Southeast High School visited the Nebraska Supreme Court this morning.
The students are part of a business law class and were able to observe 5 cases on the docket before doing a little Q&A session with the justices. Channel 8's Matthew Mitleiter has more.
Students from the business law class at Southeast High School sat in on 5 different cases at the Supreme Court in the Capitol building on Monday, including a criminal, civil, and a defamation case, among others. The course instructor, Stephanie Olson, said her class focuses on criminal, civil, and contract law. She says this was good exposure for her students to learn about Nebraska's judicial system and what oral arguments are like in court.
I think it's important for students to realize what actually goes on in the real world of court cases, court filings, and here we are in front of the Supreme Court, which is, you know, for the most part, the ultimate oral argument that these parties will have.
The students themselves also got to take part in a Q&A where they asked the judges about their experiences in law school, why they chose their careers, and what kinds of cases they see every day. Olson said she's taken students to visit the Supreme Court before, and it gets them excited to learn about the law. Some of her students have told her they would like to pursue a career in law, and she thinks one day a few of them could become lawyers. One student, Ian Hunsberger, got to act as a student bailiff for the day, and said while he was nervous, it was still a fun experience.
My favorite part was probably, honestly, watch people present their case. I just think that's fascinating, watching two people argue about something, I guess, in a more like intellectual way, and not just like yelling at each other.
Ian says he knew court would be different than what's on TV, and that he's learned from class about how the courts work. He said he's thought about a career in law, but also likes political science and business. Olson said this course is not required to graduate, so it's good to see so many students interested in the subject that chose to be there.
They loved it. They loved it. It gives them just a brand new perspective on what it's actually like. You know, they have watched television programs where everything's solved in an hour. And this, you know, we talk about what happens with an appeal, and the parties only have between 10 or 20 minutes to argue their case, depending upon what issues are in front of the court. So they enjoy it.
Reporting in Lincoln, Matthew Mitleiter, Channel 8 News.
And the cases today and the Q&A session are all available to watch on the Nebraska Judicial Branch website. And we have a link to that in this story on our website, klkntv.com. Lincoln Public Schools is hosting a public hearing on the proposed budget tonight.
That's right, a chance for you to voice your opinion. It comes as the Board of Education is expected to vote on the proposal tomorrow. It totals about $490 million. That's a 5% increase. Tonight's meeting is at 6 p.m. at the district office. We'll be there, of course, and have much more tonight on the news at 10. Lincoln's mayor signed a new proclamation today.
And now Diaper Need Awareness Week is officially underway. The goal is to get affordable diapers to lower income families who are not eligible for SNAP or WIC benefits. Families are sometimes forced to make tough decisions in order to have diapers for their children. According to the National Diaper Bank, 1 in 3 American families reports diaper need. Diapers can cost up to $80 per child per month.
Getting that awareness out to others is very important. And so that proclamation and understanding that the mayor is supporting it just takes that awareness piece to the next level. And for us, that is very important. We know it, we understand it. A lot of part of our community that supports us knows it. But if we can continue getting the word out, proclamations such as this will help us in doing that.
We'll have more on this story tonight at 6 o'clock. But right now, new at 5, Nebraska Task Force 1 is back from Puerto Rico after Hurricane Fiona ravaged the island. Now they're gearing up for a potential deployment to Florida for Hurricane Ian.
Channel 8's Anthony D'Agostino was at their headquarters as they packed up.
Members of Nebraska Task Force 1 returned yesterday from Puerto Rico. It was the first time they left the continental U.S.
No matter whether it's local in Lincoln or in our state, or anywhere in the United States or in a continental United States, the Nebraska Task Force 1 is ready to accomplish the mission that they're assigned, do so in a professional, swift, and quick manner, and make sure that the mission that we're given is handled and making something better that was worse.
In Puerto Rico, they had to handle different infrastructure than what they are accustomed to seeing on the mainland. They also had to deal with mudslides as they performed search and rescue missions.
They're anywhere from low level where it just fills up to the roof of a car to the point where it's completely a steep incline that you really couldn't even navigate up.
The team was supposed to be there 14 days, but finished the mission about 7 days early. When asked if they made a difference there, Captain Ripley didn't hesitate.
Absolutely, we made a difference. There's a few stories that I wish I could share that, it's just simply seeing someone that was in their time of need and them seeing us really made an impact. So there's some pretty neat stories that came from this that I know our task force members will remember, and it keeps them motivated to go on to the next opportunity to help someone.
And that next opportunity may be fast approaching. Hurricane Ian is forecast to become a major hurricane before plowing into the west coast of Florida later this week.
Our job is just to be ready to go at a moment's notice, and that's what you're seeing today. A lot of these folks just got back basically yesterday, and they spent a little bit of time at home, made sure everything was good there, and then quickly turned around, came back to our logistics center here, and are getting things prepared so that our goal is by the end of this afternoon we'll be 100% ready to go out the door if that need would arise.
According to the National Hurricane Center, the storm is forecast to bring life-threatening storm surge from Fort Myers to the Tampa Bay region beginning as early as Wednesday. Evacuation orders are already being issued for people in those areas, and Nebraska Task Force 1 is ready to go lend a hand if and when FEMA calls. Reporting in Lincoln, Anthony D'Agostino, Channel 8 News.
And speaking of Hurricane Ian, Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins has a closer look at it now for us. Rusty?
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing that's happening. Where this is forecast to go, doesn't happen that often. And right now it's over on the other side of Cuba. It will eventually strengthen into a Category 2, then a 3, then a 4, as it kind of hangs to the right there and turns into about a Category 3 as it's just off of the coast of Florida next to Tampa. So that would be worst case scenario. But notice that white line that's surrounding it. That's kind of the cone of error where it can go from one side to the other. And this is what the major models are saying. Notice how they all just kind of go in different directions. So there's that cone, and that line of where the eye of the hurricane will go, can go still in the Gulf of Mexico and maybe all the way over to the east, south of Tampa. So they're still figuring this out. Models are still watching it. The entire state of Florida is still watching what is happening with this forecast. So it's something we'll be keeping an eye on, but around here, not much going on, just partly cloudy skies, a very quiet early evening. And this is Schoen's Roofing Cam at South 6th and Perkins in Beatrice. Mixture of clouds and sun, really it was a nice day. Temperatures in the middle and upper 70s to around 80 degrees in some spots, like 83 in North Platte, 83 in Ogallala, 82 degrees in McCook. A little bit cooler in central and eastern Nebraska, but not by much. 79 in Lincoln, 79 in Hebron, as well as Grand Island. As we head through tonight, we'll drop into the 50s eventually by midnight, and we should drop into the middle and upper 40s by 6 a.m. Then I think tomorrow morning we'll start off around 48 degrees and then warm up quickly, but kind of level out around 78 degrees by the afternoon. So another decent day, a little above average with a mixture of clouds and sun. This is going to continue for the next several days where we are right around that average temperature and plenty of sunshine. So we'll take a look at the full forecast in just a couple of minutes.
Sounds great, Rusty. Thank you. Well, starting today, local breweries are celebrating Lincoln Craft Beer Week. It comes as national news is covering a carbon dioxide shortage for brewing companies.
But locals here in Nebraska are not concerned. Channel 8's Jessica Blum has more on that this evening. Jessica?
Yeah, that's right. A few shortages have been seen along the East Coast, but local brewers say that it's nothing to be worried about. Instead, brewers are celebrating with Craft Beer Week starting today. Cosmic Eye Brewing and 13 other local breweries will be participating in events this week, including trivia nights, open houses, crafts, and giveaways. Organizers say this is the first time this Craft Beer Week will be hosted as a focused effort to celebrate breweries instead of the beer tour started in 2017. The event has since expanded to include cider, distillates, and wines.
It was typically a beer tour. It was a passport program that we put together back in 2017. And it kind of ran its course. People went through the passport. It felt like they weren't doing anything new and different. So this year it became one whole week. Lots of great participating breweries, 14 in total, that are truly doing something unique. And so far the public's embraced it.
This week is designed to give participants a way to learn about the beers being made right here in Lincoln, as well as the stories behind each local venue, organizers say. And Craft Beer Week will be going on today through Sunday, October 2nd at all of the 14 participating locations around Lincoln. A full list of events and details to take advantage of can be seen at lincoln.org/beer tour.
All right, Jessica, thank you so much. Coming up, a revolutionary experiment about only 7 million miles away.
A spacecraft is expected to slam head-on into an asteroid this evening. The details after the break. Now to a historic experiment being conducted by NASA tonight. A spacecraft will zero in on a small asteroid millions of miles away.
It's expected to hit the asteroid and nudge it into a tighter orbit, which would mean experts could likely do the same if a killer asteroid was headed towards Earth. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
It's a revolutionary experiment about 7 million miles away that could one day help save our planet.
It is the first test of planetary defense technique.
A spacecraft named DART launched last year, expected to slam head-on into an asteroid this evening at 14,000 miles per hour. The impact meant to nudge the asteroid Dimorphos into a tighter orbit around its companion space rock, a method that could be used to divert a killer asteroid headed for Earth.
It's exciting because to do it with a real asteroid, real spacecraft, will give us confidence that if we ever had to do this for an actual asteroid threat, we've actually done this before. We have a tool in the toolbox.
Dimorphos is not considered a threat to Earth, but its conditions made for an ideal test run. It's a small asteroid, but it's still over 500 feet wide, about the size of a large football stadium.
A rock of that size hitting the Earth would level small state, small country.
And asteroids have struck Earth. In 1908, a small asteroid hitting a forested area in Siberia, and in 2013 in Russia.
We had a smaller asteroid, just 19 meters across, streak above the city of Chelyabinsk in Russia, missed the city, but it did come close and put about 1,500 people in the hospital, collapsed a number of buildings, broke nearly every window in the city.
A direct hit would have leveled the city.
Thankfully, so far, nothing recent enough that it really has a large impact on our civilization, but it could happen.
And it will take days or even weeks to find out if the crash was actually successful in changing the orbit. A tiny change in velocity is all it would take to protect the Earth from most asteroid impacts. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Now, your Storm Alert team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
So a lot of weird things going on, not weird, it's just scientific things. So you got that asteroid that they're trying to shoot at, and then you got Jupiter, which is in opposition, which means, well, first, it's 367 million miles away, but you're going to be able to see a pretty good view of it tonight because it's in opposition, which means that it rises in the east as the sun sets in the west, like this, and so you'll be able to see it. It'll look bigger, it's closer to the Earth than it has been in a really long time, and just in case, it's not to scale. But if you have really good binoculars or a telescope, you'll probably get a pretty good view of Jupiter tonight. Aurora right now, the Penner Bathing Solutions camp, lots of clear skies, perfect for viewing anything up in the atmosphere, including Jupiter, and it's nice out there temperature-wise. Boy, I hope you were able to get out today. It was one of those days that when you think back and you're like, boy, fall didn't last long enough. This was one of those fall days. It may be a little on the warm side, sure, 79 the Lincoln Airport, 77 Yankee Hill Road, but still, it was a comfortable day today. Very low dew points. They were in the 30s for a good portion of the day. 73 right now in York for a temperature, 76 Columbus, a little warmer in Fairbury and Hebron at 79. Nobody at 80 though. Satellite, just a few thin clouds out there. That's about it. Otherwise, mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. So Stormcast, this is going to be a really slow-moving Stormcast because there's not a whole lot to this. So as we head through Tuesday night into early Wednesday, high pressure is just kind of building its way in slowly but surely. It's like a snail's pace here. We got a warm front coming our way as we head through the second half of the week. That's going to bring some warmer temperatures. But over the next 24 to 48 hours, not a whole lot of change going to be happening. Just that high pressure on one side, a warm front off to the west, bringing with it some warmer air. So let's look at the next 10 days. We need the precipitation. Would love to have a nice soggy 7 days and 10 days, and that's just not going to be the case, at least for central and eastern Nebraska. This is through next 10 days through next Thursday, not a few days from now, but the Thursday past that, 1/10 of an inch. Less than that for central and eastern Nebraska. You have to go all the way off to the west, and still not a whole lot of areas seeing more than 1 inch. That's over the course of a week and a half. So unfortunately, if you need precipitation, this is not going to be the next 10 days to get it. Forecast for tonight, southwest wind 5, 10, maybe 15 miles per hour, mostly clear, and temperatures in the middle and upper 40s. So a chill in the air, but it's going to be pretty nice. 48 degrees, mostly clear skies. We'll call that cool, but it's close to normal. Southwest wind at 5 to 15 miles per hour. For tomorrow, temperatures pretty close to normal, maybe a degree or two above it. 78 in Lincoln, 79 in Beatrice. Some spots may get to that 80-degree mark, like Hastings, Hebron, and Fairbury. I'm going to say 78 and mostly sunny in Lincoln. That's near normal. Northeast wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Next 7 days, no precipitation until maybe Monday, and that's just a small chance. Cooler on Wednesday, 72 degrees, back to 78 on Thursday, the 80s Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then that small chance for precipitation comes our way Monday and Tuesday. Temperatures falling off a little bit as we get into October. A lot of middle 70s there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and into Thursday. So a quiet 10-day forecast, mild. If you need to do anything yard work or getting us, I mean, the leaves are going to start falling here pretty soon, trying to get a jump on that. It's a pretty good week to get things like that done.
You know, I was on vacation last week, but I was keeping track of what one day you had 104, you set a record?
Yeah.
Rusty?
Yeah,
It was
103.
brutal. It was very hot that day.
Yeah, I was down farther south. We were cooler than you were,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw, but we were the hottest place in the entire nation.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it's pretty crazy.
We don't want to do that again.
No. And then what, Rusty, we dropped 40 degrees to the next day?
It was a strange 24-hour period.
It
really
absolutely was.
Summer, fall,
See
summer,
what happens
fall.
when Rod leaves? All these weird things
I
happen.
know, I know.
Stop leaving.
We need you. Thank you, Rusty. A negative day on Wall Street today. The Dow falling 329 points. NASDAQ is down 65. S&P losing 38 points. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source.
Finally tonight, police in the city of Beverly, Massachusetts made a once-in-a-lifetime apprehension Friday, taking a gray seal into custody. The animal had been squatting in a neighborhood pond next to the police station for about a week.
He was appropriately named Schubert because Shoe Pond is the name of the pond where he was staying. A few concerned residents called, but police let Schubert be until he finally turned himself in early Friday. Surveillance video showed him waddling toward a police officer. Authorities got him into a special wildlife carrier without incident and apparently in good health. Police said Schubert has been taken to the Mystic Aquarium in Connecticut for observation before he is released back into the wild.
I heard they had him in handcuffs for a while, and no. That's a good story, though, getting back to where he can be happy. All right, Rusty, final check.
Quiet out here. We're not going to see any Schuberts, I don't think, in and around the Lincoln area at least. But Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, temperatures in the 70s, 80s on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That Husker game going to be a little warm with, well, I guess it's a night game though, right? 6:30 p.m., so it'll cool off by then. Next chance for rain is next week.
All right, thank you, Rusty, and thank you all for being here.
See you back here at 6.
With the Channel 8 News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
We only do one thing at Comfort Made Mattress Factory, handcraft the highest quality mattress possible. It's backed by a lifetime comfort guarantee. Come see us.
Closed captioning on Channel 8 Eyewitness News is brought to you by Christensen Hearing Analytics.
A community is connections, friends, family, schools, teams. At Allo, we're honored to be a part of your community. As members of the community, we're committed to ensuring people stay connected to the services they need. That's why we're participating in the FCC's Affordable Connectivity Program. All qualifying customers get free 100 megabit per second internet or a $30 discount on all other internet packages. Go to allofibr.com/ACP to learn more.
The pain level was over 10. There's days where I just sat and cried and asked the good Lord to take me. And my doctor recommended that I go to Good Feet and try the arch supports. And I took about 3-4 steps, turned around and went and sat back down and started to cry. It was the first time that I had no pain. I'm not an actor. I want people to know my testimony. I want them to know what arch support's going to do from Good Feet.
See for yourself with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Professor Penny, I need to take a 4-cheese quesadilla back to my lab. I got you, girl. It is mathematically impossible to fit 4 cheeses inside. Better get 2 for research purposes.
The new 4-cheese quesadilla at Taco John's.
Since 1994, EP Foundation Repair has fixed over 20,000 basements. Look to us, like many of your neighbors have. Every job we do starts with a free estimate and comes with a transferable long-term warranty. Give us a call before it gets worse.
As you age, you lose important hormones that are responsible for energy, strength, muscle mass, brain function, mental clarity, and arousal. This is not the time to throw in the towel. Get back in the game with Limitless Male, the men's health experts.
Enjoy hot water faster and a warmer home, all from a cost-effective and reliable energy source. Natural gas appliances are affordable, efficient, and safe. Experience the natural gas difference in your home with Black Hills Energy.
With employee pricing at Denver Mattress, you pay what we pay. Backed by popular demand, our employee discount is available to everyone for a limited time. Get 15% off any single Denver Mattress brand product, no minimum purchase required. And with our 365-night Better Sleep Guarantee, you'll rest easy knowing you're getting the right mattress. Plus 4 years, no interest, and free shipping. Hurry! Employee pricing at Denver Mattress ends soon.
It's time for new energy-efficient replacement windows from Champion.
Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Don't sweat over high energy bills. Stay comfortable in your home all year long. Call or go online to book your free estimate at getchampionwindows.com.
Evergreen by FNBO from the Great Big Small Bank.
Tonight, Hurricane Ian taking aim at Florida, a state of emergency in effect. Tampa now bracing for its worst hurricane in a century. Ian expected to become a Category 4 hurricane in the next 24 hours. Tonight, winds already 100 miles per hour, the first mandatory evacuation orders now being issued. Major concerns about potentially devastating storm surge and flash flooding. Florida activating the National Guard. Tonight we have the new models just in showing the possible track where this could make landfall. Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z and meteorologist Rob Marciano both live in the storm zone, timing this out tonight from Florida. The other major news this Monday night in Russia, the violence erupting over Vladimir Putin's new military draft to fight in Ukraine. Military recruiting offices inside Russia targeted, set on fire. A gunman opening fire inside one of the offices, people running for cover. Video surfacing online showing another recruitment center firebombed. And tonight, the new drone video showing the wait. Up to 50 hours to cross the border to get out of Russia into Georgia. Will Russia now crack down on those border crossings? And Vladimir Putin's new move tonight involving Edward Snowden. Ian Panel on it all from Ukraine. Also from inside Russia, the death toll rising after a horrific school shooting there. At least 17 people killed, including 11 children and 2 teachers. Tonight, also, the images coming out of Iran. Authorities cracking down now on protesters across that country. Dozens killed, police reportedly firing tear gas and stun grenades into the crowds of protesters, showing their support for a 22-year-old woman who died while in the custody of Iran's morality police. Martha Raddatz with late reporting tonight and Iran's new warning for the U.S. and the West. In this country, the chilling murder of a popular radio anchor. Police say his 10-year-old son beaten in their home. Newly released surveillance tonight showing a train derailment in Colorado. This evening, the NASA mission unfolding at this hour, a NASA spacecraft set to crash into an asteroid at 14,000 miles per hour. We're just minutes now from that mission and why they're doing this. And they are the faces of climate change. Our team reporting from inside Somalia. The horror unfolding in East Africa. 22 million facing starvation. The children in desperate need, the 3-year-old weighing what a 1-year-old weighs. Matt Gupman in Somalia and how you can help.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to start another week with all of you at home. We begin tonight with Hurricane Ian barreling toward Florida. The storm in what they now call a rapid intensification period, expected to go from a Category 2 to a Category 4 in the next 24 hours, racing across very warm waters, 90 degrees or more, with little to sheer to knock down any strength. Every county in Florida under a state of emergency, the first mandatory evacuations now underway tonight, parts of Tampa Bay and Clearwater included. More than 300,000 people told it's too dangerous to stay, that they should get out now. Hurricane Ian just upgraded to a Category 2, winds 100 miles an hour. Tropical storm warnings in effect for the lower Keys, a hurricane warning all ready for Tampa Bay tonight. This evening, look at the size of this storm, this massive swirl seen from the International Space Station. The hurricane pummeling the Cayman Islands and on track to strike the western tip of Cuba. From there, the models show the hurricane headed straight for Florida. They are beginning to come into greater alignment, looking like a possible landfall north of Tampa. Now, how close to Tampa just isn't known yet, and no matter what, it means storm surge and flash flooding are very real concerns here. Across the state tonight, they are getting ready for Ian to arrive, boarding up homes and businesses, stocking up on food and supplies. Shelves, as you can see there, emptying out. And of course, families lining up to fuel their cars. But in the areas most at risk, families are packing up and heading to safer ground. Workers at Tampa General Hospital are building a flood wall now. And at the Tampa airport tonight, they are preparing for a potential shutdown of operations sometime in the next 24 hours. Our team of meteorologists, Ginger Z and Rob Marciano, both in Florida tonight. Rob on the preparations, the warnings, and the real concern in Tampa Bay with those shallow waters. But first, Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z. She's on Treasure Island, Florida tonight, taking us through the timing and the track of this. Ginger, good evening.
David, good evening to you. You can see erosion is a problem at beaches just west of Tampa for regular sunny day floods or thunderstorms. You can imagine, though, what they must be feeling when a 5 to 10 foot surge is possible right here when Ian comes ashore. Let's look at the storm, which you mentioned was a Cat 2. It'll cross western Cuba tonight. It'll head north-northwest and then turn north-northeast with its eyes set on Florida. Here's how the timing's going to go, and this is where a big problem comes in. It will slow down considerably. When you pile water in this big bubble that is storm surge towards somewhere like Tampa Bay, you are going to have major issues from Sarasota up to Clearwater. But you see those warnings for Fort Myers and Naples, you are not out of the woods. And this storm can still edge south or north. Every little mile is going to count on how much water piles up and what the wind speeds will be. One other thing I can promise you is the whole peninsula needs to watch in that northeast quadrant, because that stationary front, it's going to act like a catcher's mitt, and it's going to slow this thing down. It's going to catch that little ball and let it roll and roll and roll until it finally gets absorbed into it. 10 to 15 inches of rain on top of any of the surge you get. Inland flooding is a problem, and tornadoes that could even reach Daytona or Orlando, that east coast of Florida that still will have a surge 2 to 4 feet. You can see right there. So 5 to 10 feet in Tampa Bay is just a horrific situation, and David will be watching this in the next 24 hours because the big impacts really happen Wednesday night through Thursday.
Yeah, we can't overstate this. Up to a 10-foot storm surge right there in that area where Ginger is tonight, Treasure Island and Tampa Bay. Ginger, thank you. As you heard Ginger report there, the Tampa Bay area preparing for what could be the worst hurricane they've seen in 100 years. Senior meteorologist Rob Marciano on the preparations underway, the evacuations, the warnings, and what they're being forced to do at Tampa General.
Tonight, Florida families are boarding up their homes, filling sandbags, fueling up, emptying store shelves, and evacuating to safety.
First thing that's going to go is going to be power and then the water, so just make sure you have a little bit extra so you can take care of yourself and get out of town.
Officials in Pinellas County and Tampa's Hillsborough County announcing mandatory evacuations for some areas and encouraging even more to get out now before it's too late.
We expect to have to evacuate over 300,000 people, and it will take some time, which is why we are starting today.
The Tampa Bay area now bracing for what could be their first direct hit in 100 years.
What is the one thing you're most worried about that may go awry?
What I'm most worried about are the fact that these storms are so unpredictable.
Governor Ron DeSantis declaring that state of emergency, activating the National Guard.
This is the level of the bay on a normal day here in Tampa, just a couple of feet below the seawall. But during the hurricane, we expect this water to be pushed up with a surge of 5 to 10 plus feet, hitting downtown where it has nowhere else to go, flooding the core of the city where evacuations are in place.
And this level 1 trauma facility is in a vulnerable spot.
They're putting up their flood protection all around Tampa General. This is their aqua fence. It only comes out during a hurricane. It's mobile, it's modular, and it's necessary. This trauma center sits in the evacuation zone. It will likely flood, and this wall is designed to keep the water out so they can keep the patients in.
NASA planning to roll back Artemis 1's $4 billion rocket from the launch pad. That launch now delayed until at least late October. Ian already hitting the Cayman Islands. Its sights now on Cuba.
And Rob Marciano, who was tracking Fiona for us all last week, now on this hurricane with us from Tampa Bay. Rob, you've been warning how shallow the water is and why that's so dangerous there. And also tonight, what are officials now saying about evacuations where you are?
Yeah, I mean, this bay is not just shallow, David. It is massive. It goes over 30 miles to the Gulf of Mexico. So that is a lot of water to be piled up here. And we're in a new moon cycle, so that raises the water even more onto the doorstep of this city. Hence the evacuations, and they are serious. Police were going door to door through hotels, making sure that guests were gone today. And that's just one zone. We expect 2 more zones to be announced in Pinellas County tomorrow. They want people in the lowest lying areas to get out sooner rather than later. David?
Of course, we want people to heed these warnings. Rob, Ginger, our thanks to you both. Of course, we will stay on this as the hurricane approaches. Much more on GMA first thing in the morning. In the meantime, we move on to the other news this Monday night. The dramatic images coming out of Russia tonight and amid Vladimir Putin's new draft to fight against Ukraine. Many fleeing instead. The line of cars at the Russian border with Georgia. Take a look now. Several miles long. The wait up to 50 hours amid fears there could soon be a crackdown on those border crossings. And violence tonight at recruitment centers. A gunman opening fire at this military recruitment center in Russia. Others firebombed. In fact, there are reports nearly 20 recruitment offices across Russia have now been attacked. Our chief foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell, from inside Ukraine tonight.
Tonight, anger at Vladimir Putin's military draft descending into violence in Russia. A gunman today attacking a recruitment office in Siberia